too for some folks to join. But boy, I tell you what, the Lord really spoke to me this morning in prayer about some things and preparation for what God is going to be doing and what we need to be doing. You know,
ready for the service tonight, this morning.
We want to be prepared for the things that are about to happen in our country. And as I was praying this morning, I was reminded of the book of Habakkuk, where Habakkuk was saying, man, there's all kinds of problems here. We've got issues that are, lawlessness and right being made wrong and wrong being made right. And there is no justice. And we've got all kinds of craziness going on in Washington right now. And Habakkuk said, man, how long is this going to last? Why are we having to go through this? You know, what are you going to do, God? And God said, hey, you need to stop and look and listen. I'm about to do a work that if you were told that work, you wouldn't believe it. And then in chapter 2, he starts that out, says, I'm going to go stand on my post and I'm going to wait to see what the Lord would say to me and how he would answer me and what I'm going to do about it. And God answered him, said, go write the vision down, make it plain so he that reads it may run with it. And then he said, I'm going to trust God. After God said, he prayed and said, God, come revive your work in the midst of the years. God came. God showed up. God came from Tema, and there his glory filled the place. Well, as we get to the point where we are right now around the nation, we're seeing a lot of this. And God says, I'm fixing to work a work. I'm going to be working the work in your land and in this hour that's going to be unbelievable to most. So we need to be prepared for that work. And he kind of gave me a warning. And then Brother Charlie, one of our lay pastors, spoke up, said this is what God was showing him. And it was exactly what I had just written down. As we were praying against the spirit of offense, the spirit of complacency, against pride, and against fear. And we need to deal with these things in our lives. We need to realize that fear, pride, complacency, and offense, and that spirit of offense is working throughout our nation right now, trying to create a divides in every area, politically, racially, spiritually. Even Christians are becoming divided and offended and offensive. So I want to encourage you today to take a careful examination of your heart and know that if you allow offense into your life, it's going to hurt you. If you allow fear, it's going to hurt you. If you allow pride to keep you in a stubborn place, it's going to hurt you. And if you become complacent in this last hour that we're living in, it's going to hurt you. And so I encourage you today to examine yourself and examine your heart and spend some time really praying and seeking the Lord and getting ready. Tonight, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about this in our service. So make sure you join us on Facebook Live or come on out at 6:30. We're going to have service tonight. And I want to talk about some of these things. You know, God's plan has not fallen apart because the government is falling apart and things are going haywire. And I don't know about any of the conspiracy theories or any of the other things that are being touted on social media and throughout, on other venues. I don't know anything about any of that. I'm not going to prophesy over anything of that. All I know is that God has a plan and he's working the work. And if we will put our trust in him, not be afraid, because God never says be afraid. He always says, don't be deceived. Put your trust in me. We don't need to be offended at any of this. We need to keep offense out of our heart and out of our life. He's trying to bring offense into into churches and Christians, and we need to say, I refuse to be offended. 3, we need to not let our pride keep us holding on to a position in our life, trying to manage life on our own. We need to humble ourselves under the hand of God and let God be the one that works in our life. And we don't need to be complacent right now. Our walk with God needs to be a number one priority. We need to make sure that we stay close to him through prayer and through the word and through just spending time in his presence. Also spending time with the church and in the body of Christ, knowing that when we gather together, he said, there I am in the midst of you. So I want to encourage you today, read the book of Habakkuk, go through that and see what he said in chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and realize that God's working a work and he's going to do something great and mighty in the earth. And we're going to see it. We're going to see it. We're going to experience it. God's going to revive the works of his year. So it works, his works, and he's going to bring mercy and power into the earth. But this is by far from over. And I'm not talking about the presidential election. I'm talking about the plan of God. So encourage you, be with us tonight at 6:30, whether you join us on YouTube, Facebook Live, Periscope. We're going to be on all of those venues tonight, LinkedIn also. And we'd love to have you come and be with us in person if you can. Just come on out. We're right here, going to be here, going to have a great time in the Lord. I encourage you to come be with us. Hey, this is Pastor Jim. I want to say it's a great day at Life Church, and we'll see you later.